What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a scuffed setup, but hey, regardless, we're getting the video out. Luckily, I am safe from the hurricane and I can still record a little bit. The setting is a little different, like I mentioned, but we're going to get a quick little video out nevertheless. So, today, Scream's embargo has been released, and Scream is pretty cool. We were actually able to test the new champions up at rank 3, which is something we have never been able to do before, and that definitely impacts the CCP's perception of them because rank 3 is a rank that is a lot more attainable nowadays. It used to be like what rank 2 was, but now rank 2 is a lot more common, and rank 3 is becoming more of a common thing for Valiant players to get on a monthly, bi-monthly basis, depending on content. So it's not atypical to test a new champion at a rank 3 level, especially not having them at SIG 200, because then that becomes a little unrealistic. But rank 3 SIG 20, I feel, is a very fair test for new champions. And Scream is no exception. I went into testing Scream not exactly knowing how I feel about her. I'm trying to get the light out of the frame, but it's not really working that much. I didn't know how to feel about Scream when I first started to test her, but over time, learning how to properly use her, I do think she's pretty cool. I think she might suffer from just being another damage dealing cosmic without her signature ability, which I think is very important for her as a character. I think the SIG is exceptionally useful, but we'll get into that in just a bit here. But overall, I do like Scream, so my takeaway is she's a good character, and if you like the gameplay you see, maybe consider picking her up or grinding for her in the arena. So, her signature ability, let's start there. Bad Hair Day, always active. She gains a lot of different effects based on champion class and champion tag, but then she has this base effect at the top of the SIG where when Madness is consumed by Scream, she has a basically 40% chance at SIG 20 to gain a regeneration buff, healing 3% of missing health over 5 seconds. That's nice. That adds sustainability to the kit. Of course, that chance goes up with SIG level. I'm not sure what the ceiling is for that percentage chance, but 40% at SIG 20 is pretty decent. You're consuming Madness all the time, so you're basically going to have a regen buff on you for for most of the fight, if not all of the fight, because Madness is getting consumed literally all the time with Scream. So then, additionally, against Spider-Verse heroes, each stack of Madness reduces the opponent's evade ability accuracy by 13.76%. That goes up to 25% per stack, I believe, so it cuts off Spider-Verse champions' evades, which is good. Against symbiotes, when gaining Madness, each stack of Madness grants an additional 13% chance to gain an additional stack of Madness. So just quickly ramping up against symbiotes with that clause. And then against tech champions, she reduces the opponent's armor up ability accuracy by, again, 13.6%, 7.6% per Madness. So it's a very nice SIG. Basically, all of the utility from the kit is baked into the SIG. And I don't love champions like that, but she does have damage and a bit of usability outside of just the SIG. So she's not just a champion that relies on the signature ability. I won't get into the nitty gritty. I'm just going to kind of glance over the kit and tell you what you need to know. You build up Madness by just over time throughout the fight. You build up this Madness currency, which has max stack of 8, and you can naturally refresh Madness with your 4th light attack, and then you gain additional Madness. And if you use your 2nd medium, you consume Madness, but it doesn't go away, and you can trigger your hybrid buffs. So Scream is all about building up her hybrid buffs. When Madness is refreshed, its icon changes to reflect the currently selected hybrid buff, cycling through Scream's indefinite hybrid buffs in the order listed below. So it always starts in this order. It's always Vicious, um, I forget what the acronym for it was, but it always starts with Vicious and then Energize, Bulwark, and Impact. So that's the order. That's always the order. And once you have these hybrid buffs, they're ramped for the rest of the fight. You don't have to re-ramp them. You don't consume them and go for a big special 2 or anything. Once you have all of these buffs, you are ramped. You are ready to go for the rest of the fight. For however long the fight is, you have these buffs once you're ramped. So hybrid buffs can only be gained when Madness is at 1 or more. So you need to have at least 1 stack of Madness, and then when you use a 2nd medium, like I said, you gain that currently selected hybrid buff. So once you have 2 hybrid buffs, so let's say you get your first 2 vicious buffs, when going for another medium, so you're going for another hybrid buff, instead you gain an undermine. And the undermine is just like, it's the carryover for the next buff. So once you trigger your 2 buffs, you go for another medium to trigger buffs again. You gain undermine, and then the undermine triggering will cycle the buffs into the next list. So you go from vicious, and then you have energize next. So 2 more mediums after your 3rd medium to get the undermine. Then you start stacking the energize buffs, and so on and so forth. So the name of the game here is really just medium combos to ramp up, because you start the fight with madness and then go for a special one. The special one, it consumes madness to gain a 100% fervor buff on each hit, and fervor increases the ability accuracy of debuffs. I believe that's what fervor does. So the more debuffs you have on the opponent, the better. Each time Scream lands an attack, I believe, she has a 25% chance to inflict bleed, and then at the same time, she inflicts armor break. So when you land a bleed, you also land an armor break, but if you're going against a bleed immune champion, you land 2 armor breaks, and Fervor increases the chance of that bleed and armor break triggering. So the name of the game with Scream really is medium combos to build up your hybrid buffs. Go for a special one to get your Fervor buffs and consume your madness. And then you should still have 1 madness left at the end of your special 1, so you can keep building your hybrid buffs. And then by the time you get to your special 2, you should have a lot of debuffs on the opponent, a lot of your hybrid buffs built up, and the special 2 should finish the job. One more thing to note is Scream has an auto block, which is useful on both offense and defense, and whatever Scream successfully auto blocks, she gains a hybrid buff at the cost of, I believe it's 1 madness? I'm not sure if it costs yeah, when madness is consumed by Scream. So if you consume madness, which you can do by charging your heavy attack, you can gain auto block, and then this auto block will give you a hybrid buff and also inflict a bleed. So that says it right here. Yeah. And the heavy also inflicts infuriate. So let's get into the gameplay here. It's much better to show off the loop, because the kit, it reads a little complex, but I promise you it is not a super complex loop once you understand what you're doing with the character. So we're going to the CCP test map here. This Drax that I'm going to fight, which I mistakenly take the wrong path for first. This Drax has 280,000 health. I believe that's what this health pool is. It might be a little less, but I'm pretty sure it's 280. And the loop here with Scream, it's just like I said, it's special 1, special 2. So I don't know what was taking me so long to get to the Drax fight here. But we're going in here with rank 3 Sig 20 Scream. I almost said Storm. With the Venom Relic, you definitely want to run the Venom Relic with Scream. That is the best relic for her. You can see I start with 4 Madness, and I'm doing those medium combos. I'm trying to repair there, but had some dropped inputs. You can see right there I go for a 3rd medium. That gives me the Undermine, and then going for another medium. It has cycled my buff list, and now I have my first Energize. Now I have 2 already because I went for another medium there. There's the special one, so I have the 3 Fervor buffs now, increasing the ability accuracy of my basic hits to land all those debuffs. And then Scream special 2, it deals a burst of direct damage per debuff on the opponent, max stack of 30. That was a 30-second fight right there with Scream. Just nasty work. And then I've got Winter Soldier and Captain Marvel here from Realm of Legends, 550,000 health each, respectively. First Winter Soldier fight here doesn't go too great, but the Captain Marvel fight is solid. Very solid. But this is a nice, realistic look at how a fight could be with Scream. Again, I'm going for the ramp here, going for the medium combos, or ending my combos on medium. That's really what it has to be. You don't have to always go for medium. Now, I've used my special 1, I've gained my 3 Fervor, and I'm out of Madness. So what I need to do now is I need to end on a light attack to get Madness back, but I don't do that here because I don't realize it. Nevertheless, it's fine. Madness comes right back, so we have 1 stack of Madness, which means we can gain our hybrid buffs. We go for a first special 2 here. Pretty decent damage with all of those armor breaks and bleeds. Again, the more armor breaks you have, the more armor breaks and bleeds you have, the more damage that Scream special 2 will deal. So obviously you want as many as possible. Now the damage burst is capped to 30, but more armor breaks means the special deals more damage in general, not just considering the direct damage. So Obviously, you want more armor breaks and more bleed because that damage is being paired with the burst damage from the special too. So this is the last fight here. We have Captain Marvel. This fight goes very well. You can see me utilize the auto block here. I believe I utilize it to get some openings and build up my hybrid buffs even faster. What you can do is you can tactically end your combo on a medium and then immediately charge your heavy attack. And what that will do is it will trigger the auto block because you've consumed madness by charging your heavy, and it allows you to combo right back in. So I was trying to go for a medium there because you can technically get a medium combo and then go for another full combo after the auto block if you're quick enough, but my input was not fast enough to do that. But regardless, very nice special 2 there from Storm, and we have those fervor buffs increasing the debuff ability accuracy. Now I just need to get back to another special 2, and by the time I just do the hair whip, Captain Marvel's already dead. So I like Scream. I think she will be a pretty good champion. I don't exactly know where she's going to land in the current meta. I think she's going to be a pretty solid attacker for Battlegrounds and Alliance War, and she might be okay for longer form content. She can definitely do it. She has the reach for it, but she kind of hits a bit of a ceiling with how much damage her special 2 can deal. Great for short to medium fights, but longer fights, maybe not the prime pick, or maybe not the champion I would pick for those types of fights. But regardless, let me know what you think about Storm. I keep saying Storm, it's Scream. Let me know what you think about Scream entering the contest. If you decide to pick her up, let me know what you get. And if you get lucky, hey, post it on Twitter. Maybe I'll give you a like, give you a little retweet, anything like that. So yeah, in any case, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already, and hit the bell for notifications if that's something you're interested in. I'll see you in the next one.